Now back to our continuing coverage of the capture of ousted Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro and his wife. The couple is expected to appear in a Manhattan courtroom in just a few hours from now on narco-terrorism charges and more. To talk more about this monumental arrest is legal analyst Richard Schoenstein. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mary. How are you?
And what is expected in the next few hours? I mean, what will we see in this arraignment?
Well, an initial arraignment is pretty straightforward. It's procedurally oriented. It's to tell the defendants what the charges are against them, sometimes to take a plea. They may not have a plea ready at the moment, sometimes to discuss incarceration. I'm not sure that that's going to happen right away. It'll probably be a very brief appearance and just the start of the formal proceedings in the United States against them.
And this arraignment starts the clock on prosecutors turning over evidence against Maduro. What is happening behind the scenes with all of this?
Well, I'm sure a lot's happening behind the scenes. You know, this is a very high profile and very important prosecution. So the prosecutors have been working on this case for some time. Remember, this indictment dates back to 2020. And then the indictment, that's the first time they got one from the grand jury. And then they updated it more recently. So prosecutors have been working on this case literally for at least 5 years. They've certainly amassed a ton of evidence and other information and must have a pretty large file on this that they already have put together. But now the case is real. Now the defendants are here. They're in the United States. There are going to be formal proceedings, and ultimately there could be a trial.
And the legality of all of this, is it a violation of international law, as some are saying, to capture a current head of state?
Look, I'm not really an international law geopolitical expert. I'm more of a meat and potato U.S. law. And I think that the courts aren't going to get involved in the broader political implications of this. U.S. courts, when they have a defendant in front of them, tend to take that defendant as they are, as they stand right now. And I don't see the United States court interfering with the way in which he was apprehended. So is it a violation of international law to simply go into the country and grab the person that you're charging? It could be, but I'm not going to say one way or the other.
So we have a number of charges, including narco-terrorism, weapons charges as well. What will it take for the U.S. to get a conviction here?
Yeah, this is a very big prosecution, right? This isn't just somebody was selling some drugs on the street and you've arrested them. It's alleged that he sat on top of a massive conspiracy to pump cocaine into the United States, not just to sell it, not just for the profit, but to do damage in the U.S. And then there are a couple of weapons charges. So it's often very difficult in any kind of prosecution to get at the person at the top of the conspiracy, because they're not on the ground doing the things that are the subject matter of the prosecution. He's not the one selling the drugs. He's not the one bringing the drugs into the United States. They're going to have to be able to prove up the chain that he was in charge and made these things happen. And that's going to be difficult.
And when it comes to the charges against his wife, we understand one involves bribery and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right. She's a former attorney general, I believe, in Venezuela, so a high-ranking official in her own right. And it is alleged participated in this conspiracy, both in the drugs and the weapons portion. Again, proving that is going to be difficult, but I'm sure the government believes they're up to the task.
Legal analyst Richard Schoenstein, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
And stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage of Maduro's capture, including a special report as soon as he is arraigned here in Manhattan. And be sure to tune in tonight for the official debut of the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopel at 6:30 p.m. for more in-depth coverage of the case and international fallout.